So John's our financial officer. He and I have been working all summer on trying to get, figuring out what we're going to do grants-wise, getting money from the ASBSU for special events and things like that, which I'll go over in a little bit. We actually applied for 4 grants at the beginning of the semester, right at the start. We got $3,500 worth of grant money from ASBSU to do some big things for the club. So we're excited about that. Alistair is our Dungeon Master officer. He
is 80% sure of what he does.
That went higher than the last time we talked. If you have questions, if you're a DM, you have questions, or you're interested in becoming a DM, he's the person to talk to.
Basically, kind of, sort of like the HR guy.
Yeah, kind of. And
try not to be that much of a dick, though.
Alberto is one half of our player officers.
Hey there.
If you're a player and you have questions about creating a character, what the hell is this D20 and how does it work? He's the one to talk to. Cole will be coming in shortly. He's the other half of our current player officers. He's working parking today. So he was up late to our midnight group last night. And then we got up early, so he's going to probably be a wreck when he gets here. And Matt is our world building officer. We have created our own world to play in for at least fantasy settings. The world is called Sept. Actually, can you go to club information and then our world. This is our world, Sept. We have created a very large world to make sure that DMs can have space so that no one has to be over the top of each other. DMs don't have to play in this world. We just recommend it for one specific reason. It allows, if one character is playing, if you're playing a character in a Monday night game and all of a sudden your schedule changes and you now can only make it to a Thursday day game, and they're both playing in the world, you can usually just take that character and say, hey, I'm good to go. You might have to change level if you're 5th level and they're just a 2nd level. But everything, the world, the histories, the origin, all is covered over. The towns are there. It also allows for crazy dungeon masters like Alistair to run multiple groups that are kind of in the same area and doing things. We're about to get together for our 2nd time of bringing 2 groups together for a 14-person game, I think is what they tend to be. So that is our world. It is growing, it is changing. If you're interested in adding to the richness that we are starting to build, let Matt know. We will be holding world building days where there'll be kind of a task for anybody who's interested to come and help build. We're getting there. It's got a long way to go, but we figure we've started it and it can grow from there. Once again, it's not a requirement for our DMs to play there, but we encourage it. What else? Specifically that you guys know. How many are on my weekly or Sunday email list? Cool. The rest of you, I apologize already. It's a wall of text. It's just what it is. There's a lot of information every Sunday that I send out because I try and send as few emails as possible to everybody, so I try and put as much into it. If you were on the email list at the first week of school, you would have gotten like 8 because there are just a lot of changes and things like that that were going on. Email is our main form of communication for the club. We're starting to try and get the different DMs to be able to contact their players if changes need to be made rather than me having to send it out to everyone. That being said, I send it out as a BCC to everyone in the club. I send it to myself as the normal recipient so that your email addresses are not there for everybody to see. The only person that's got access to them all is currently myself and John. We do that mostly so that there isn't that urge to do it, and it's your email address. If you want to give it to other people, that's great, but that's not how we work. What other good things? There is no feed.
Discord.
What?
Discord.
Discord. We do have a Discord server. It was set up by players in the club. I don't call it a club Discord because I've seen some of the stuff that gets put on it.
Yeah.
And I don't want to offend anyone. So there are interesting conversations that happen, especially really late at night or early in the morning. So that's available. We have a Facebook page. The Discord information, I believe, is on the Facebook page. It will eventually be on the website. I built this over the last last week, so I've been burning the midnight oil, doing a lot of things. That being said, a bunch of clubs, and I've had this question asked by a few people, a bunch of clubs ask for, they're fee-based, you have to pay to play or be a part of the club. We are not that. We are happy that you're here and that you want to play. That being said, this semester, because we're growing so rapidly and we want to be able to do more things for everyone, we are requesting an optional $10 fee for the semester. We hope that you're getting way more than $10 worth of enjoyment out of what we're providing. And that money goes to building our library. We have 4 lockers here in the library that have a lot of books, a lot of miniatures, a lot of dice, all the supplies that you need to play or dungeon master, we have. And it's not just 5th edition. We have D&D 3.5, we have Pathfinder books in there, we have, my Fantasy Age ones are at home. Shadowrun, D20 Modern, I think that's it currently. I also have the Superheroes one at home that I'm starting to learn to read, or reading to learn, because I think that would be kind of fun. So we're not just D&D, although that tends to be what we play the most of. Anyway, so the $10 will be used to provide additional supplies there. Food during games is always awesome. So we go for food and some other fun things as we go. Some door prizes. We did that at the end of last semester. Can we call them door prizes, John? Yeah. There's a lot of bureaucratic red tape when it comes to ASBSU and clubs, so we can't use certain words. And I always use them anyway, like sponsor, bad word. That's why we are powered by GIM. The GIM department is nice enough to, for those that don't know, the GIM major is a brand new major here on campus. They're currently in their 3rd year. It's the Gaming, Internet, Interactive Media, and Mobile Technologies department. The professor, or the chair of that department, we got together, he's our advisor, Professor Anthony Ellertson, and we decided that our interests aligned pretty well between them and us. So we're going to be doing some co-sponsored things with them. They're going to help us get some actual nice prints of our logo, which is now,
It's on your shirt.
It's on my shirt. I keep forgetting. We commissioned this piece this summer from one of the members of the Illustrator Club here on campus. We were originally told that a full plate Buster Bronco shouldn't be a problem, and then we started the process, and then we started hearing how, yeah, that's not going to happen. They're extremely protective of Buster the Bronco. It's never going to happen. Good luck. Please, it's not. You just get your mind set up. Figure something else out. A week after we submitted it to patent and trademark, we got an email back that said, "You're good to go, and congratulations on your innovative design." Everybody was like, "What?" So we get to use Buster Bronco because he's badass, and you know, why not? When you get a chance, look, hidden in the rubble is actually a full set of dice. hidden up there in the rubble. It's kind of cool. The artist hid it in there. I didn't even know until it's finally saw the final thing. What other pieces of information do I have for y'all? There's more people here than I was expecting, which is just once again fabulous. We're going to give you some information on what our sessions are. We will get you into sessions as quickly as we can.
All those times are up on the website, right?
Yes, all the times are up on the website, and I realize that there are a few that are marked as currently full, which aren't technically currently full. A couple of them are.
Yeah,
but I realize that a few of them I had originally marked as currently full, but they have some people that are currently playing in, I think the person that's got the most, I get one person that's playing in 4 separate ones, which they already know. I'm probably gonna have to take a few away. So it's gonna take some juggling. We will get you into games as quick as we can. If a time does not work for you, please let us know. I can't guarantee that I can get one within a week, but we can juggle schedules and things like that. How many have never played D&D before? That is so awesome. Last semester we taught 7 people how to play. Never played before. We have no experience necessary to play. We are more than happy to teach you. The dice are the easy part. The character creation is the easy part. It's getting into that character, being that character is the fun part. There's really nothing crazy about it. The rules are just there to help. Once again, most of the DMs and I agree that story trumps all. So just because you might not necessarily be able to do a triple backflip, and land on a table and stab someone through the eye in one fluid motion, that's really cool. We might make you just do a fun little roll, and if you do well with it, you got it. Feel free to be crazy. It's a game. You've got your goals. The one thing I ask, realize that you've got your goals in your character. Other people have their goals in their character, and everyone's here to have fun. There are times when in character, characters are gonna fight. It's just gonna happen. The party's gonna be like, we're going this way. And they're like, there's a door over here, it's got a big trapped sign on it. It doesn't matter. It's perfectly fine to be like, no, you can't do that. And if it gets down to it, the DM will probably, and the person will be like, no, I'm going for it. We'll probably have some form of a check to see, can you stop them from doing it? Sometimes you'll win, sometimes you won't. D&D is about teamwork. Figure out how to deal with it. But remember, frustration at the table is with your characters. Don't let it leave the table. I don't want to see people getting pissed at people because they're always running off and doing things. Yeah, exactly. You're not playing the game right. Well, there's no right way to play this game. There's not. This game is the ultimate of any RPG that you could ever play on a computer because it's completely open-ended. Your DMs are going to have a certain pathway that they kind of want to lead you in, but almost no DM is going to be hard and fast. No, this is the way it is. It's going to be a lot of shades of gray, and all DMs quickly learn. If you go through the DM training, you will learn very quickly. You'll have everything planned out for a dungeon, and you're like, yeah, big trap sign. They'll never go that way. I've planned this beautiful sunny vale, and they're gonna drink wine with satyrs, and they're gonna, Gandalf will be there, and he'll give everyone magic weapons, and your party's like, trapped. Or like Alberto's group, they will beat a tree that did nothing to them for 45 minutes.
I didn't like
it. Was aggressive.
It was not aggressive, sir. Someone cast fireball on it, and then you cast talk with plants and it's gonna bitch you out.
Sorry.
And then you turned it off and then you guys wrecked it and kicked it while it was
45 minutes later, we got frozen, and it's covered.
Frozen entirely.
So realize things will get off kilter quickly.
I got a question about guilds and like, that's pretty much it, like guilds in your world.
They're currently actually in the process of being built. This summer, I actually took my Monday group back 400 years and created an origin story for one of the factions that would either be evil or good. And it depended upon how they ended up doing. I had fun with that. I think they had fun. Do you guys have fun with that on Mondays? Okay. They're probably blind. So a lot of it is currently being built. We're trying to do as much as we can, as quickly as we can, but sleeping every once in a while. So if you have interest in things like that, like rogue skills, wizard skills, or like they ended up with the Golden Hunt was the faction that ends up being mercenary-ish, but more, oh God, I'm gonna date myself way too quickly. If you've watched the A-Team TV show, or Robin Hood-esque, helping people that normally wouldn't be able to get help. If they had failed, it was going to be an evil bastards out there for murder for hire, they don't give a crap. That's not the way it ended up. They actually also ended up, one of the players ended up with the 2-year-old child of a goddess, because I'm a bastard. And was like, hey, you get a kid.
Was that you?
You
How
get
do
to
I
raise
know? How could they just look at you and be like, yes? That's John's face.
What about players getting together, maybe not necessarily forming a guild, but like forming a group or something, like inner games?
I'm all for that. I am all for the creativity that you guys want to bring to this. Things specifically like that, getting together with Matt for world building, because it falls into that, and taking the time and be like, hey, we want to start this. We're interested in doing that. Talking with a DM, or even if there isn't a DM that's currently able to deal with that because you're split into certain groups, we have ways. That sounds really bad. We have ways. There's magic on the roll. Hey, great, we can do stuff. But those things build to that. The one thing that I caution, warn, at least want to state with it is don't get overly attached to things like that, because that sounds wrong too. We want you to become overly attached, but when it becomes introduced to the world and other people can interact with it, they might mess with it. So, if you decide that you're gonna, your group wants to go into the inn business, guilty as charged. And another group decides to come through that town and wreck your inn, you may get a bill in the mail for repairs. We've been known to call us tavern brawls, and we burnt down a tavern in our first city, didn't we?
Second session.
Yeah.
First town, second session.
First time we didn't know that was you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was us. Didn't I burn it down?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
You absolutely did.
So we really highly encourage it, but just realize when it becomes a part of the world that everybody's interacting with it.
That just makes it a better story, so.
Exactly, and that's why we do it that way. And that's why we like having a single world that everybody can kind of interact with. Also, the benefit of that, this comes to our ASBSU money. We're planning 2 events per year that are going to be anybody, everybody. Well, all our events are anybody, everybody. One of them each year is going to be a hack and slash style event where everybody will start with the first level character. The DMs, you'll get into big groups, the DMs will go, here, deal with it. And you'll level up and see how far you can take your characters. As the people die, the groups that are living will get smaller and smaller and smaller, higher and higher and higher, until hopefully we can throw some dragon liches at them.
Sounds like PUBG.
Maybe a couple Tarasques, maybe.
Yeah, devil Tarasques, demon draconic celestial Tarasque. Maybe.
Yeah, perfect.
It
sounds wonderful.
So just for fun, get out there, have a blast with everybody. Our other main event, which will be in the spring, is going to be a world-changing event. There will be something huge that the DMs are already secretly working on as we speak, that will lead to a world-changing event. Maybe good, maybe bad. The planet probably won't explode, but just probably. I make no promises. And then the other thing that we're planning on doing is, we have, anybody done miniature painting? If you haven't, it's a blast. Even if you think you have no artistic talent, it's actually really cool and fun to do, and relaxing. Okay. But we have some amazing painters in the club. Some of the samples are out on the table out there. We had a trial run this summer. We painted the kobolds and the and Kelly painted the spiders. Yeah. We didn't. So we have one guy who's fat, who's been painting for years. I won't say that. But he's got the skills to teach you how to do it, and it's fun.
3D printer?
Yes, I'm getting there. So Dead Week each semester, we are buying a bunch of minis, and we're opening it up to anybody who wants to come and paint minis. If we'll provide kobolds or goblins, I believe, and if you want to paint your own character, which is fun too, you can feel free to bring that, but I ain't paying for it.
We're paying for the paints and brushes.
We're paying for the paints and brushes, which is kind of the more expensive part. We have a few fabulous members that are part of the Maker Lab. Chris is Chris and Chantel, who's not here.
In time.
And I know a few people are also wanting to do it. They make some cool stuff with the dragon out there. The white dragon out there was 3D printed this past week.
Yeah.
We also have some things that have been done on the extruder for characters. Chantel made a tabaxi, I believe, is hers, and it turned out fabulous. It's the clear one out there. Yeah, there's a zombie and there's something else. So if you want to get together with them, one of the other things that funds are going to be used for the club from people who want to donate, through Hero Forge, you can custom make a character and they'll print it for you for minimum 30?
Minimum 15.
You can get the STL for like...
Right, so then you can get the file.
The file is 10.
You can 3D print it here for $10. So we're going to be buying a few of those so that we have for options. So you just have to get 3D printer time. And we're also, did you ever email America?
I signed up earlier today.
Okay, we found out that there is a special grant from one of the 3D printer companies for groups to basically get a free 3D printer, and we are applying. We are hopefully going to apply for that.
Yeah, we'll do social research.
That we are doing social research with. What are the extruders?
The Form Lab.
No, Form Lab. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
So we're going to be trying for that.
Number of the coins and...
Yes.
Do you guys ever use like websites like Roll20 or Fantasy Grounds?
We haven't yet. I'll be honest, I don't know about them.
It's like online D&D. I'm distinctly open to it, but most of our games are in person. Or all of our games at the moment.
all of them.
Yeah, all of them currently are in person. If people want to start doing the online ones, totally for that. I just like hanging out with people.
Less having to reserve.
Because that's just,
True that.
Yeah, usually someone brings food.
that is the best point. Someone usually brings food. Although if you're playing on a computer, there's usually the fridge by.
That's your
But my
unofficial
fridge is
title.
usually empty.
Then that's the other problem. So yeah, so we're totally for it.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, we're just gonna move to question and answer time.
Where are these games usually like held?
Right here.
Here.
9 times out of 10, we're here. Tuesdays, we have a room almost every week over in the Student Union Building. Tuesdays tend to be our other busy day. Fridays and Saturdays are our main busy day. And then Tuesday, for some reason, has turned into the other busy day. So we have a room over there that we get. If we're not, the CID department has been fabulous. We literally have this room locked down Fridays from noon to midnight. And no, 4 to midnight, sorry, 4 to midnight. And then Saturdays from noon to 8. Right?
No, noon to midnight.
Oh, no, you're right, noon to midnight. We just don't go to midnight. So they've graciously given us this space. We also, when there's classes in here, we'll just play out in the CID spot if we can't get into 201B. We used to try and get into the library instruction room, but they started not liking us very much. I don't know why, but I probably do. So we kind of left that one alone. Supposedly in the future, all the bookshelves going that way to the windows are going to be gone, so it gives some more space. We also have, but we haven't made use of it yet, the old Maker Lab, which was downstairs in front of the GIM studio. We have complete access to that, but there's not enough tables in there yet for us to use. And I really want to be careful as we're using it so that we don't interrupt classes. I think one of the reasons the library doesn't like us is, what did we get, 8 complaints last semester from being too damn loud? D&D's a great game, you're quiet, you're enjoying yourselves, and then something happens and everybody's like, oh my God! And then someone hears you 4 miles away.
So my question has to do with the reason that I was so fabulously late. I was having a fun little adventure where I was trying to figure out how to park.
Yes.
Normal
Today's a bad day
today,
for
not a
parking.
good day.
Yeah,
Trust me.
Yeah. We try to not worry, or I mean, or I guess,
Is that before the cross parking's open?
yeah, cross parking in the CR lot is open after 4 and on Saturdays and Sundays.
All day. All day on the
Oh, sorry, all days, yeah, all day on the
after
weekends.
4 p.m. during the week.
Yep.
But that also goes for West Preserve and East
Yeah, it's for every lot.
It's it's technically every lot, but the CR lot tends to on football days not be overly packed. How was it when you came in? Alberto?
It was pretty full. There were still a few spots open.
Okay.
But the central
But it's
Reserve
literally
lot-
the lot between the library and the sub, and there's a little hidden parking spot back here.
Okay.
So they tend to be,
Forbidden realm.
yeah,
You can also do Van Morrison.
yeah. If you've got a parking
Yeah.
pass, you can park there.
Yeah, and if you're only going to be parking for a few hours, and Morrison's a great place too. If there's not like an event going on.
Sure.
Yeah.
I park here.
Depends on how much you want to walk.
As little as possible. We play. What else? Any other questions? I don't even know what time it is. Yes.
What's the process for becoming a DM?
That's a great question, and I have another one that'll tie off of it. The process for becoming a DM, taking one of our DM classes, training classes, we try to go over everything that is required for you to run a session. How to handle your party that's going for the trapped sign. How to handle inter-party conflict, the rules, all those things. It tends to be about 4 hours we're working. This semester we're hoping to be 4 hours total, over 2 days, 4 hours. We're actually gonna be working on a video series on it so that you don't have to come in and do it. And then once you finish the classes, we do 4 trials where you'll get 3 to 4 players, one of which needs to be a current dungeon master, to sit in. You're gonna run some little short campaigns, about 2 hours, one of which has to be completely combat focused, because that's, a lot of time can get burned up in there. And then, a low level, a medium level, and a high level. So we know you've got the gamut. Once you pass those, you're good to go. and you just let me know when you want to run a group.
It is worth noting that you can feel free to run a game without that, but you will not be listed as like an official club DM.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're looking for people to play while you're doing that, just let me know. We're not against it. The reason we do it that way is we want to know what you're bringing to the table as a dungeon master, so that when I assign someone who's never played before to your group, we know that you know how to deal with it. I thought that this would be a hard and fast rule. When we, as the DMs, current DMs, play in your group, we are a bit of an asshole. We do that on purpose. We try and be the hardest, most frustrating player you will ever have to deal with, so that when you deal with us and you learn how to deal with us, any group you ever get will be much easier. I thought that was going to be a hard and fast rule that would never be broken. Talk to Albert. He got the bird that killed the tree. It got harder.
I'm so
I'm
so sorry.
all these characters that were really awful, but it turns out we were going to continue that campaign. So we had to keep the characters we had.
They all played insane characters.
Yeah.
So that's the reason we do it that way. We really feel that we're going to put you through your paces,
Okay.
It's really.
but it didn't work out 100% for Alberto.
Follow-up parking question.
Like
You get a
what the
warning,
mayonnaise run for.
because I parked by the liberal arts building. Is that bad?
I have no idea.
So no, that's a lot we're talking about.
It is by
that
the
one?
administration building and the liberal arts building, like between there.
Oh, between
Yeah, that one's
between
fine.
that and the
That one's okay?
administration, that one's not. Just FYI.
It's not. Okay, so
That
you'll
one's
be
not
fine.
crossing. Those
Say
are called
first
faculty
come,
lots. So that one and the one over by the ILC.
Okay.
So those two are faculty lots and they're paid parking only,
Yeah. Gotcha.
24/7.
Okay.
But there's a lot, literally you can see the corner of the lot out of this window. And then like if you just follow the line that way, there's another one. Those two are really good lots.
Yeah.
If we need more parking,
And any like
ask me.
Cole works for transportation.
That's why I was like,
And actually, Cole is our other player officer.
Hi.
So questions to Alberto over here. Other questions? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, and then I'll go ahead.
All right, when do we make characters?
Characters are usually, if it's a brand new session that's starting, it's usually your first session. You'll make characters with the whole group. If it's a session that's already going, we'll get you in contact with the dungeon master that's running that group. And if you've already made a character and you feel comfortable with the process, the DM will just kind of let you know, hey, we're level 4, give yourself an uncommon magic item, whatever it needs to be. And then you're good to go and make it, and you show up and you say, hey, just double checking, we're good to go. If you're making one at home, if you're gonna roll hit points, please just roll the hit points in front of the DM.
Or take the average.
Or take the average, which,
Statistically, you're going to do
Depending on
way
the
better
system.
taking the average anyway, so.
yeah, unless you roll amazing, which we do have a few of us who have broken dice. Weighted dice or not.
Well, it's just under the not cool man category.
Tying off the DM.
They're under the
Hold on.
I was going to add on to character building.
Okay, yeah, I meant to finish that.
We also went and made a club customized character sheets as well. That are, we have a club Google Drive that we have a whole bunch of information on. I made some custom character sheets that I didn't cover pretty much everything, except I realized after making them and submitting them that there's no section for feats. But other than that, they're really good. So if you need a character sheet, you can just pull one there. If you don't like it, you're more than welcome to use your own. Those are just up for anyone who needs one.
And we're currently working on a huge selection of pre-made first level characters that'll be downloadable. And if you haven't made a character before and your DM doesn't have time, get together with Cole and Alberto or one of the
Any of us
officers.
really, yeah.
Honestly, We have no, most of us kind of live here now.
Some of
and
us
so,
literally,
we have no problems coming in on, well, not coming in, just hanging around and making a character with you. Like, oh, my DM said you need this. I haven't made a character before. Can you help me? Or I've never made a cleric before. I've played a fighter for 3 years, but I've never made this certain class. We do it that way.
Yeah, I just didn't know
Do you
what's
have
going on.
any, like, information available, so like if you're doing backstories, that we can make our characters kind of fit into the world, or like be part of the
Oh my
world?
God.
So like, do you have anything like that, like history or?
We're working on it. There's not a huge amount.
Five.
a lot of it needs to be voted on.
Yeah, a lot of it, yeah. We did a lot of work over the summer,
I've got those many.
and we're still in the voting on process on a lot of it. As we get it, it's gonna go onto the Our World section on the website. If there's something that you specifically wanna know, or your DM's probably your best first spot to check with.
Check your DM first and foremost.
Yeah, and then,
Stand out, so once I, now
Yeah.
I've got that.
and then you've got your
45 minutes top.
talking to Max, or hey, I've got this really cool idea that I wanna do. Can we build this? Sure. Yes.
How do you become an officer?
Money.
Large donations to the club.
No, so first, actually, you do not have to be a member of the club to come and play. You want to just come and hang out and play, we're happy to have you here. You don't have to be a Boise State student, fee-paying student to be a member. We are allowed 49% of our membership to be non-Boise State students, which, I don't know, we got to, depends upon when you take roll, we got a few people that are not. To be an official club member, we realized that we didn't want to be like the other clubs where they're like, oh yeah, we've got like 500 members and 450 have graduated and they just have never cleared off their books. So we are going to be a little bit more stickler-ish than that. So to become an official club member, come to one of our club meetings, which is taking place here shortly.
In about
15 minutes.
Cool. So one a semester, it's not too hard. If you really can't make one, we're flexible, contact us. And then play 2 sessions a semester. Shouldn't be hard, 2 weeks, 2 games. Will get you able to be considered a full club member. If you are a full club member and you are not a Boise State student, the bad news that I have for you is you don't get a vote, which drives me up a wall. But it's the bureaucratic red tape that the Get Involved office has put on us. You can't vote, although we will listen to you.
So for graduate students, are they considered like Boise State students, or are they different?
I'm going to go with I believe so, but I will double check with America. No, you would be because the graduate college cheats, and every graduate student that comes in is a part of the graduate school club. So I know that the graduate students would be considered full Boise State students. So that's to become a member. If you want to become an officer, what I recommend is make yourself available to people. Get out there, talk with people, hey, I'm available here if you want to make a character, or hey, I'm willing to do things. The more involved you are, the more people get to know you, and then as we keep getting bigger, and we're getting big enough that there are going to be some more officer spots going to open up soon, because I don't have enough time. It's a voting process, so it's going to be like, hey, we've got another spot for a player officer. Who's interested in it? We will actually run the vote through OrgSync. So if you're not a member of OrgSync, you'll do that. And then it's a voted thing. Our terms are for every officer position except for president, financial officer, and DM officer are just for a year. So there'll be revotes for that. I started it till I'm here till anyone kicks me out, we'll just put it that way. Yes, sir.
Just to add to that, in order to be an officer, unfortunately, you do also have to be a student.
That's right.
You have to keep a GPA above 2.5.
Is it too
Is it 2.5 or 2?
It might just be 2.
I think it's 2.
As a club, you're all great students, and I expect at least a 2.
Yeah, that's right, I forgot there is a requirement. But we're happy to have that. In a year and a half, we'll have a vote for the new president.
Do that
We do, my goal is for this club to stick around. We've put a lot of energy into this club this summer, or over the last 6 months. I would be ecstatic if when I come back in about 5 years after finishing with grad school that I can come in and join a game. That would be fabulous. Any more questions? What else we have? Yeah.
Is every session played with minis, or do you guys do theater of the mind stuff too?
We do some more theater of mind stuff. My D20 Modern group last night, we didn't use minis at all. I didn't even use the map. It depends upon the DM, really what they feel mostly comfortable with. That being said, the cheapest, so 3D minis are, the cheapest ones are usually about $1 a piece for just little kobolds about. If you want your player characters or something bigger, you get into the $3, $5, $50 range for certain things. So knowing that they were super expensive, we invested in Paizo Publishing through their Pathfinder. They do Pathfinder minis, which are cardboard, thick cardboard cutouts with really nice artwork, and you've got a base you stick them in. We have 1,640 different creatures, characters, and stuff that can be used. Anything from small tiny to huge. Yeah,
Huge is the largest.
Okay, that's what I thought. They are all on, can you do me a favor, go to club information, our library. And then, yeah, so this is we've brought 1,642 different types. There's 3,000. Over 3,000 actual individual minis. I spent a lot of time this summer taking pictures of cardboard and putting them in there. Okay, anyway, it's called availability. You can check these out from the club, which I'll go over checking out in the next meeting, because that's another thing. But if you're looking for, it's got a search feature, so if you're looking for an orc, you should be able to type in orc and stuff pull up. Please, thank God worked. The call number is the important number. We've got them all divided up into bags of 10 call numbers each and things. So you've got a picture, you're like, hey, I'm playing an orc barbarian, cool, what do you got? I need a mini for again. Definitely not telling people not to do it, but at least one of the jokes in D&D is the moment you get a really nice painted miniature of your character that represents them well, it will die. The other thing to never say in front of your DM is, I haven't taken any damage lately. He deserved it. Which led to the first character death of the club.
For like 3 sessions?
Chapter 3, yeah, you made it through 3 sessions. I haven't taken any damage, dead.
Wasn't totally his fault.
Yeah, it wasn't totally his fault. We did have one character that failed, a crit failed on his medicine check. You couldn't stabilize him, cracked a rib, and got him close to death. He made his final death save and rolled a nat 1. So
it was meant to be.
To die. And I still owe him a bear trap. He died before I could repay him, which is fabulous. Characters die. It's part of the game. DMs will lie to you constantly and tell you that our greatest passion in life is to kill characters. It's not, it's to tell stories. What character deaths are going to happen? You might choose to do something fun like face a displacer beast on your own on the floor. And the DM will be like, you really want to do it?
Are you sure?
Yep, I want to do it. Cool, you've made your choice. DMs for the most part are 100%. You can do what you want to do, but you gotta live with the consequences. I want to jump off this cliff that's 500 miles high with a rock stone bottom of spikes. You sure? Yeah, totally. You're really sure? Oh, I want to take this flaming oil lantern with me. Cool. Yeah, swan dive, you ain't gonna make it.
Feather fall.
What we've also had a player try and use animal handling to tame a hydra.
That was a fun.
Not a good idea. A hydra looked at it confused for the first round. Do you remember that? So characters will die. DM's job is to write up an obituary that shows up in the monthly or the weekly newsletter that explains who you were, how you died, so everybody can enjoy it. And that's just the way it is. And you will lose that character sheet. If you really want a copy of it, make a copy. We do have plans, maybe possibly a zombie invasion of characters that used to frequent the land.
Hardcore.
Important also things, if it was like a really kind of crazy death and stuff led to it, DMs can have fun with that. Jeff Tree was a tree-hugging druid.
Not tree-hugging, raised by literal trees.
Yeah, he was raised by Mr. and Mrs. Bark.
No, Mr. and Mrs. Tree, because he is tree.
The fairies would play tricks on you and talk to you as if the trees.
Oh yeah, just general fae.
Yeah. So we actually planted him, and there is a tree that we can go and visit now. Some people are still threatening to bring him back. The Jeff Tree tree. It will
You can go
hug
find
you
it.
back. But so it adds to the world that way. Other questions? I feel like I'm all over the place, which is normal in my life.
I have 100 questions, but I'm limited to 3. What if I have a player from an old campaign, like I actually have 2 players, one's a 16 paladin, another one's a 10 orc ranger. It's like, can I bring those in and like play with them, or?
Yeah, check with your DM. It's really a DM call. It's going to depend upon where you're at. We don't have many high-level games going right now. I'm DMing the high-level one. I started them at 12, and they decided they wanted to be evil. So we do play evil campaigns. They are attempting to find a positive god's or a good god's relic to corrupt for their own god. Which I've never done an evil campaign before, and it's kind of black. So yes, so just double check with your DM. You might have to drop their level down. We do, for the most part, recommend to our DMs to, instead of rolling for your stats, to do a stat block. The reason for that being, I DM'd a couples group in the spring. The girlfriend rolled nothing below a 13 and got 2 18s. The boyfriend rolled, got nothing above a 13 and got like 2 7s. So she's like, yeah, I kick ass, and he's like, I'm just standing here. So we switched to the stat block for that reason alone.
It's generous.
It's not, and it's a generous stat block. 16, 14, 13, 12, 10, which is definitely above average. It's not a requirement for our DMs to do it. We just do that for the most part to average it. Or your DM could be a jerk like I was to my group that just started today. And I had them Iron Man it, which is rolling 3d6, start at strength, go down, that's your stats, you can't move them. Merry Christmas. We had some all over the place stats. I think the lowest was a 6. You had a 7. Yeah, Rami had a 6.
Constitution.
6 Constitution, and then we had 2 7s, but we also had a couple 17s. So, you know, it's all over the place. It's really just what the DM's kind of doing.
Points, or do you just like implode on yourself?
You had 3, that's 1.
Okay, so my second one is like backstory. How do we relate our backstory? Like, origin of this world?
It's really going to be the DM with that, because you're, as much as you're fitting it into the world, you're also really trying to fit it into that campaign. Now granted, people travel, people do stuff, you know, you can have a backstory and not necessarily be in the middle of that backstory anymore. I'm a personal believer in backstory for no other reason than it gives the DM fodder to use against you. I meant to help you with. Last night we started at D20 Modern group, first actual one. Brand new player, we did the introductions. He said, "Hey, I'm playing professor at Boise State. I got a missing wife and a 6-year-old son that I don't pay enough attention to." Oh my God, you just made my day. So in the very first session, there was a school shooting in the 6-year-old's class. The board, yeah, and the kid made it. The teacher she's still in critical. And Alberto actually was the sniper and pulled off a shot through the window right as the guy was aiming the Uzi at all the kids. So TMs love backstory because we can play with it. Just realize that we might not be the nicest. That's cool. Yes. Sure, and then we'll go back to you in the back.
All right, so I'm dragging my brother into this, and I was going to have him fill this out. Where should he return this once it's...
If you want to take a picture and email it to me,
Okay.
or bring it to your DM for the first meeting, whatever.
Also, how do we sign up for like the first?
We're going to get to that in just a minute.
For you, it's just...
I was just scratching my head, sorry.
Oh, no, it's fine. I do that all the time. What, 2 minutes? I got plenty of time. Signing up. Oh, go ahead.
Alright, so like I have a lot of digital role-playing books and things, so like, are they just mine, or can I like loan them into the digital library here?
Can you access the drive?
Yeah.
This is probably not 100% good, but we do it
totally
anyway.
illegal, by the way.
Yeah, it's completely legal. We have a drive that everyone will get invited to. Books, I think.
We've got everything.
Well, we don't have everything, and I haven't put up the Shadowrun stuff yet.
Here's all the 5 ebooks.
We try and do this
All the like
for that reason of it's easier to do this, and I feel it's at least okay because 9 times out of 10 we have a copy of the book in the library. So you could come get a hard copy, or look, you can use this at home. I personally love sitting down with the book because I flip pages easier, and I learn by feel where stuff is. But yeah, if you've got cool stuff that you want to be like, hey, you want to check this out? We're like, yeah, sure. Alistair tends to be the one that's more, Alistair and John tend to be the one to get contact with that.
Yep.
Oh yeah, here's our character sheet as well.
What's it? I need help.
Oh no, this is not.
That's
Yes,
my
it
own
is.
That's
personal
contact
life.
information.
That's just Aaron's cry to the world.
Yeah, that's just like, that's how I go to bed at night. I don't even know what's actually.
It's contact information for us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Who's in there?
It's just me, you, and Alex.
Oh God, please take it down. No, we need to get Chloe Alberto's email and Matt's in there
It's been a
too.
while since that folder's gone.
I forgot it existed.
I did too.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a bad person. I don't go on Discord because everyone emails me. I also rarely am on the drive. So if you need something directly from me, please email me. I am more than happy for that. If you're interested in getting into a group, that's the most awesome thing. Can you go back to the sessions, please?
Either or. What have you done?
Actually, go to calendar for me. And then go down to that, and then you go next week, just for fun.
Do you want the monthly?
No, just go next week, because we add more. This is what our week looks like currently. Next week we have 3 sessions starting Tuesday, Friday, and we've got, let's see, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. If you are new to the game and one of those sessions work for you, those ones are specifically tied for people who haven't really played anymore, Wow, haven't played before. If you know already which one you're interested in, please come and talk to me after the official club meeting, because I have to go into that like a minute ago. what I'll need you to do is at least list me like, I would love to play in this one, but these also work for me. Because it's going to be a bit of juggling for me over the next week. Emails, fabulous. You can also go to the session and just drop in. I just can't guarantee there's going to be space, and it's up to the DMs themselves choose what their cutoff for players are. Most of them are between 4 and 7 players. I have DM'd for 12. Alistair's done a 14, but it's only once, every once in a while. So once again, there's going to be some juggling as we try and get everybody into sessions. So please let me know. Any other new member questions? Yep.
So each session only has one DM, or?
Yes. Yeah, one DM runs a session for 4 to 7 people.
If you want to co-DM, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, if you're interested in DMing and you want to co-DM, that's perfectly fine. It's a little weird, and if you're going to do that, I would recommend doing something larger group where you can kind of split. Key D&D phrase, don't split the party. In a big group with 2 DMs, you can split the party. Which still might be a bad idea.
Well, what I was kind of meaning is like, you don't have one small group and it's like 7 people in one room and another in another room.
Oh yeah.
We do it sometimes.
On the day, we'll have, like today, Saturday, we have 2 that play in this room. So we try and make as much available as possible. It's really right now just what I have for my DMs that are like, hey, here's my availability for the semester. This is what I can do for everybody. We've got 2, 3. I think we've got 3 more DMs that are about ready to start or finish their trials. We've got the DM class that's starting, so this offering list is going to grow within the next 2 weeks to a month. So once again, if none of these times work for you, or one of the times that works is already full, please let me know, and we will do our best to get another group going at that time, especially if a bunch of people are like, hey, I really want to play Saturdays from noon to 4, but both groups are full. What can I do? Oh, cool, I'll try to get another DM for another game during that time.
Or we'll kick something.
Or kick somebody out to the curb. Any other questions?
What are we doing with these?
Let's pass them to John. The new member forms, we'll pass them to John because
I get to be.
I'm a mean person, and that's the way it is. And then everybody is more than happy to stick around for a virtual meeting. If you have to go, that's fine too.
Me and Alistair might actually be running some.
I thought it'd be just playing
one-off.
with greatest weakness.
Is that still the plan?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Cool. If anyone wants to stay after the club meeting, we're just going to run a quick one-off, Alberta, have fun.
Oh, cool.
If anyone wants to hang out.
So if you want to hang around, we've got, so after that, the club meeting, we're going to do that.